When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. The subject of today's motivational moment was born November 16th, 1922 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was born to a rather ordinary family, and he had a rather ordinary to, let's say, sometimes depressing childhood. He was able, on a high note, to skip 2 half grades, which put him ahead of all the other peers of his time, and being less mature than them, it led him to become somewhat shy, somewhat withdrawn. Now, as a teenager, again on a high note, he took a correspondence course in cartooning. On an ordinary note, he had a puppy, had a dog growing up by the name of Spike. Quite ordinary, won't you agree? Now, on some of the more depressing notes, he was always the guy who had the football pulled away just as he was about to kick it. His neighborhood baseball team was shut out, 40-0. And such defeats happen on a regular basis. His kite always seemed to be in a tree, eaten by the tree, he thought. He later fell in love with a redhead, madly in love with this redhead, and later found out a few years later that she had married someone else. So there's nothing here so far in this story to lead you to believe that this person would become famous, world-renowned, or certainly there was nothing there to make you think that he would be inspired to greatness. Oh, and by the way, he went off to war. He was asked to toss a hand grenade, which he refused to because there was a dog walking around the area, and he had an affinity for animals. And he lost his mother in the 1940s to cancer. So certainly things didn't go super well for our subject. However, if you remember, he did take that course as a teenager in cartooning. And he took the events of his life, most of them somewhat dark and depressing, and he turned them into a regular syndicated cartoon called Little People. You may not recognize that name, Little People, but Little People became Peanuts. And Peanuts gave us the characters Lucy, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Woodstock, Schroeder, Linus, and the list goes on. You see, our character, our subject for today's motivational moment was Charles Schulz. He truly turned lemons into lemonade.